Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg is with me this morning. Sir, you recently said the president needs to finish the war by switching up his strategy. I think of you as a hawk. Are you disappointed that he called off the strikes?
Stuart, thanks for having me today. It's good to be with you. Well, I think you need to understand that war is really a continuation of politics by other means. And I want to really kind of looked at this. And when you look at the strikes in Iran, I think we kind of default into only a kinetic way of doing business. I think that's wrong. Look, I've lived through Vietnam and the war against Panama and the Gulf War, and I understand and I think war pretty well from the tactical, operational, and strategic levels. And I've really studied it. Look, I'll give you an example of Vietnam. I served 2 tours in Vietnam. We put more tonnage of steel on target in Vietnam, dropping bombs, than we did in the entire Second World War. And look where that ended up at. In the Gulf War, I was on the border, was with the 82nd Airborne Division. We looked at 30 days of bombing by the United States Air Force, and finally, after 30 days, we crossed the border, went into Iraq, and within 48 hours, I was on the banks of the Euphrates rivers. And they couldn't believe it. And yes, we were. So sometimes you have to go a little bit beyond bombing. Now, I know what the president's trying to do, and I give him full credit for diplomatic options. You got to give him credit for that. But you got to say to yourself, where's this going to take us to? And I think a bit of this has to be the will. Do we have the will to close the deal? It's hard because war is in fact risky. And that's part of the game that you're playing right now. Okay, and when you understand that, you may have to extend that risk and do something beyond just bombing.
But look, the Strait of Hormuz is still basically closed. Do we have the military power to open it? And if we do have that power, why don't we use it?
Good question. Yes, absolutely we can open it by military power. But we have to have the will to do it. And that means do things besides kinetic strikes. But we have to include the kinetic strikes and then do something a little bit different. Why? Because there are places like Lorak Island up there, which is their command and control hub. You've got to take that out. You've got to take Geisham Island out. You've got to do a lot of these things. And I think you have to extend a little bit further. Now, I was talking about Arachi. You talked about his foreign minister just a minute ago. Remember, Arachi's a hardliner. You got Pezeshkian, who's the president, who's really second in line to the supreme leader. But the Revolutionary Guard still control Iran. And they're the hardliners in here. That's your problem. Right now with Pezeshkian says all he wants, but he's going to have to fall in line with the Revolutionary Guards. And the same with Arachi, who's their foreign minister, when he just talked about not having negotiations. I think we're back into a do loop. And I think we have to break it. And we have to make hard decisions and hard calls into the future on what we're going to do.
This is a difficult question to ask, but is the president losing some credibility in Iran? I've only got 30 seconds left. Tell me what you think.
Well, I think he is by the longer it extends. I don't think the American people are necessarily against the war. They're against the war being extended. And I think if you close this deal early, he's going to be fine. But it all comes down to the will of his advisors, advising the president, and the president himself. You know, one thing I always used to tell him, trust your instincts, Mr. President. It's in your book, Art of the Deal. Your instincts are always great. Just follow them.
Okay. Keith Kellogg, thank you very much for joining us, General. We always appreciate it. See you again soon. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Stuart.